Come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the legacy maker himself,
He's
Mr. Exclusive.
back. What's up, y'all?
And we got the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. And that's the Heartbreak Prince himself.
You know he's cute. Hey, you know he's sexy. Yeah.
Man, look, I ain't gonna. Hey, first of all, Mr. School, it's good to have you back up on here, man. You know,
It's good to be back, y'all. I missed you guys. I've been watching from afar, a lot of travel, but when I looked at the schedule, I said, "Hey, man, I can be in here this week." So I was very excited to be back. Very excited to be back.
hey, you know it's always good when we got the trio back, man. They might as well give us the trio champs, but we ain't on AEW right now. We got to talk about this WWE week. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the 2 hours and 30 minutes of fire with that Monday Night Raw, baby. Man, Monday Night Raw, man. I ain't gonna lie. This one was a little interesting. Now, if I tell you what I really thought about Raw, I'ma say like I heard my man on the TikTok panel. It was nothing but man, look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Jey Uso, this whole thing that's been going on with him, the CM Punk situation. Let's go ahead and start it off, man. They jumped this whole episode off with Jey Uso and CM Punk. Funny thing is, when Jay come out, you got to yeet up the crowd, get it crazy. And then, you got to run it back. But the funny thing is, CM Punk came out and he did the same thing. And he said, I ain't trying to steal your thunder. But, at this point, with CM Punk and Jey Uso, this is one of these situations where you're seeing what Punk is saying to Jey Uso. He's saying if he has what it takes. He's telling him, if anything, I need to have this title more than you. I couldn't even have it longer than 5 minutes. You had it, and what did you really do with it? And I said, you know what, Punk, you ain't capping about this. You ain't lying. And I understood it. But Jay got a little upset. And I said, okay, Jay, let's see if you're going to fumble up, mess up, or forget anything. And he didn't. I love what he did here. Jay said, look, everybody's up in my ear. Roman in my ear, Jimmy in my ear. But now it's my time. This is me. This is what I'm doing. And it's going to be the same thing. 4 letters, 1 word. Yes. So, it went crazy. It went yeet. But then we got to flash forward. Oh, man, to this match that was going on with Penta and Rusev, which actually ended up in a DQ because the freaking Los Americanos, this is ridiculous. They came out, beat the hell out of Penta, okay? I'm loving what El Grande is doing right now. And I'm wondering to myself, at this point, I know who El Grande is. I'm pretty sure we've already figured it out. We might know. I'm not going to say it. If you know, you know. Then we flash forward. Oh, man. To this match right here with Roxanne Perez going up against Nikki Bella. And I ain't going to lie. You want to ask, people talk about fatigue. I'm to the point where I do have Nikki Bella fatigue. And this is one of these situations. But I'm glad that Roxanne Perez got the dub. Now, interesting enough, Raquel and Roxanne started to beat the hell out of Nikki Bella. And, of course, who comes out? La Primera. I ain't going to lie. This face-off to me, I was like, all right, Nikki, we don't need you here. What I said we need to see is these two women right here. Said who I can, Raquel. And honestly, I was like, I'm for this. But again, my Nikki Bella fatigue is at 1,000. 1,000. Then we flash forward. Oh man, Braun Breaker, man. First of all, even before this, Paul Heyman, I love what he did. Told the story. He was sitting there. Really, I ain't even gonna lie. This man was hyping up Braun Breaker. He started calling Mr. WrestleMania. First of all, you gotta chill with that, Paul. You gotta chill with that moniker of a name. Because there's only one man that is truly Mr. WrestleMania, and that is Chef Sean. So to say that, I was like, all right, but we'll see what happens. And of course, him beating LA Knight. And I ain't gonna lie, the spot that happened right before he got pinned, LA Knight on the top rope, trying to get, it looked like he was trying to do, the classic, going up the top rope, hit him on the top of the head. And Braun Breaker dodged that and hit him with that spear, man. I mean, come on, that's the human rocket, the human missile. But again, I still wonder what the hell is going on with LA Knight, man. This is just ridiculous. Then we flash forward to Dirty Dom, man. Look at him dapping up the Los Americanos, just chilling. Funny thing is, right after that, Adam Pearce walks up to him and he says, I see, you got a lot of influence going on. And he's like, look, I ain't have nothing to do with that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. But the funny thing is, Adam Pearce tells Dirty Dom that it's going to be a triple threat match with him, Rusev, and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. And I was like, you know what? It's all right. But, even though Dirty Dom is a heel, his reactions are still giving me babyface, man. And I ain't talking the singer. But this was good, though. This is good. I like what they're doing with this. I like what they're doing. Then we flash forward. Man, I ain't gonna lie. JD McDonough going up against Sheamus. Now, I love this. I love this for both of them. Look at Finn. Look at Finn. That sadistic little smile on his face. Look, hitting Sheamus with the shillelagh, okay, helping JD McDonough. JD getting the pin. But again, this is one of those situations as to where, okay, we're getting, we're seeing something with Finn. We're seeing something with JD on these singles matches. But what's going on with them as a tag team to be in the tag team division for the tag team champions? I don't know. Granted, we definitely complain about seeing the same three teams, but I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got a legit tag team, keep it going with them. See what happens. Then we flash forward to the main event with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss beating Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Now, this was a banger of a match. You see what's going on. You see how Alexa had that sister Abigail. Love what they did. But honestly, ending it off with Bayley actually having to tap out. Okay, that was an interesting thing. But then after that, the damn Kabuki Warriors came out. And I mean, they came out and wreaked havoc. And I love what they did out here with this, man. They came out, they started beating the hell out of everybody. You seen what was going on. You seen what, I mean, come on, look at Asuka. Look at Kyrie. I mean, Lane Happy, you got two women just taking out four women. I mean, it's insane. Okay, laying on the attack, crowds booing, everybody's hating it. But you see what happens. And this is the finish right here. I ain't gonna lie, man. Raw was one of those where I felt like, it was decent. Decent show. Of course, this was the go home away. This is the go home show. So I'm okay with the go home show, being somewhat like this. I'm not going to say this was the best go home show. But that even being said, I like even the little backstage shows they had with Jimmy and Jay. Jimmy, hey, I ain't even gonna lie, Jimmy got in Jay's ass. Pause. I mean, was telling him, like, oh, you thought it was supposed to be you and me. It was supposed to be us together. Jay said, man, look, what do you think we were supposed to be doing? But what Jimmy was saying, he said, what I said was, if it's you and me at the end, then I'll be the one to throw you out. Not if it's four of us in there, I'm going to throw you out. And I said, you know what? I feel that. Then Jay sits there and apologizes to Jimmy. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, man. Big Jim, stop accepting this BS, man. No, Naomi ain't cool with this. But, honestly, at the end of the day, what can I really say about this episode? I liked, the match with Roxanne, just Roxanne. I like seeing I like seeing Stephanie Von La Primera, Los Americanos. They did their thing. But if I could really just sum up this episode, it'd probably just be oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
That's what he think.
Oh gosh.
I think that Jimmy is probably not going to be it's probably not the popular opinion, but I think Jimmy needs an opportunity. I've been liking his backstage segments that he's had with his brother, and I feel like I wish there was a way that Jimmy could pick up the whole proceed with caution mantle, from Naomi and keep it going. Because at this point in time, that's the best advice you can give Jimmy is to proceed with caution because Jay is straight tripping. The man eliminated his own brother after he saved him like 3 or 4 different times throughout the match the other week. And then the first opportunity he had to stab him in the back, over the ropes he went. And so I think Jimmy's also good on the mic and can actually, deliver some promos. What I like what they're trying to do with Jay is they're trying to keep his stuff. I say they as if we know, but Jimmy's stuff is staying short. I don't know if he's doing it or I don't know if he's been advised to do it, but he's not going on these long promos where he's trying to, deliver a message and trying to remember his lines after coming out, hyping up the crowd and all that kind of stuff. But I still wanted to see more. Like what he did with CM Punk was decent, but I still wanted to see more, especially if you're going to be the type of person that is supposed to be the main event. If main event, if that title is in your name, then you have to be delivering on a main event caliber night in and night out on all phases of the game. In the ring, on the mic, in your your backstage promos with the crowd. It's in the name, main event. And that's what a main eventer does. That is why the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is Mr. WrestleMania, because of what he did each and every time he had an opportunity to go out in front of a crowd at WrestleMania. He delivered every single time. Name me a bad match at WrestleMania that Shawn Michaels was in. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Come on now.
So it's
Stop playing with
that
the
thing, and that's what I want to see from Jay. But with Jimmy, I feel like Jimmy has the ability and the talent, at least on the mic, in the ring. Jimmy and Jay to me they're very similar. So if Jay can do it, I'm going to put bets that Jimmy could do it as well. And so I just want to see more, especially like I said, coming from Jimmy, and I want to see more from this heat right here, like develop from it. Whether it leads to a match between these two, whether things start to fall apart and it leads to a match between these two. I'd like to see something for Jimmy in this case. When it comes to Dirty Dom has been phenomenal. Dirty Dom has been, really coming into his own. And each and every week, I keep thinking this man is growing into a main eventer. He really is. We talked last week about how he went from not being able to get a word out on the mic to now the crowd is loving every single thing that he does. And I'm loving how he's delivering in the ring with his performances of a diabolical nature every single week. I mean, even this backstage segment here where he's literally dapping up El Grande and the Pip, it's dope because then when the general manager comes back, he's like, I don't know what made them do, get involved in the match and interfere. Shame, we didn't really get a winner. And it's just all diabolical like behavior, and that's what's making it like so awesome for Dirty Dom. But on the flip side of that, just to end my diatribe, because you've already said what you need to say about the ladies. The ladies they did their thing this week. Finn Balor, I'm gonna keep saying it. This man needs to be let go from this whole Judgment Day, JD McDonough tag team thing. JD McDonough can do his own thing and can stand on his own. But a couple of weeks ago, and I was hoping this would be a message to those in leadership and in creative. When Finn Balor graced us with his appearance on NXT, and he came out to Finn Balor authentic music, and he looked at the camera and said, "This feels good." What he's saying to me is, "This is where I should be. I should be standing on my own 2 feet. I should be a main player in, on a main roster, whether it be SmackDown or Raw, and somewhere in the mix. Not I'm a tag team champion and I've been off TV, but I've had the belts for 120, 130 days, and I've had 2 or 3 matches in that time frame. Like, this is what is happening to Finn Balor is criminal and sinister of the highest levels. So I'm just going to keep saying it. I mean, yeah, it's sinister what's happening to them. It's sinister,
criminal and sinister,
because it's just crazy that you have a talent like Finn Balor, and this man is just he's playing second fiddle to Dirty Dom in the Judgment Day, and they keep playing on this feud between them, or this kind of heat or animosity between, but nothing is really coming out of it. Like Dirty Dom has just been walking all over him. And at this point, if you don't have anything for him, let this man be out here on his own, having his one-on-one matches and kind of, reclaiming what he was and what he is. Let me say what he was. It's not past him. What he is as, the Prince. So that's just my take on it.
Man. So real quick before I get into my diatribe, is honestly as bad as Uso versus Uso Part 1 was. I really think that they could do better in Part 2 with Jay as the heel instead, and could be dramatically. I'm saying it wrong. Y'all know what the word is. There you go, drastically better.
What's up, Sean?
Man, what's up, Sean? Thanks for joining us, man.
Shout out to the greatest mysterio of all time.
Hey, the greatest mysterio of all time for sure. It's literally taking effect. We're watching it right now. The greatest mysterio of all time.
Yeah, Dom 2 belts is in the building.
Watch 2 belts, out. Dirty Dom.
No, look. So I want to piggyback a little bit off the what you were saying about Finn Balor. I'm not gonna lie to you. Watching him come out on NXT a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, that's where he belongs. Like, at any point, this is how powerful the situation. They could do it tomorrow. They could do it tonight. Soon as that music hit, game changer.
Yeah.
You know what? And here's the kicker. It's 2 people, him and Shinsuke. Soon as they put Shinsuke and gave him his music back, all of us, even though I like the last music he had personally, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think they've really missed personally on any of the music that they've had for him in the last, couple times. But when he came back to the old music, the fans went right back to falling in love with Shinsuke. Shinsuke could make a title one right now just off of the music alone. Guess what? Finn could do the same thing. His entrance, his vibe, they're both great wrestlers in the ring. So it wouldn't take long to get him back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? At least give him, the Intercontinental title. Give him something to build him up to be back to where he was. Because it's insane that they never gave this man another shot after he got hurt. It's one of the most disrespectful things that WWE has ever done. I've seen a couple of them. Him and Shinsuke bother me the most because they've done so much for the company, as just like they brought like just a different feel to entrances, and they brought a different feel in the ring, and they just get disrespected. So I wanted to definitely say my part on that as well. Dirty Dom continues to do great things. Love what Dirty Dom is doing. I love the heel, non-heel vision that he's got going on right now. I mean, Dirty Dom is the man. I never thought when we saw babyface Dom when he first came out there that he would be on this generation Eddie Guerrero's type vibes. Now in the ring, he ain't no Eddie, but what he's been able to do outside of everything else gives you that type of vibe. So I love that for Dom. Keep doing that. The Americano crew, we know Chad can't even get that back. He can't even get this back because of the way this has been done by certain people that it could be. Like, we won't, like Eric said earlier, we won't try to divulge this man's identity because that just would be disrespectful. But what they've been able to do with that, absolutely amazing. And then, with the females, I'm just piggybacking because you guys bring up so many great points. Nikki Bella, get out of here. We don't want you. And you made a good point on the face-off. Why in the hell did you decide, hey, man, I'm going to go and stand here too? For what reason? Why are you butting in, ma'am? Like, nobody wants you there, and I didn't realize how tall Raquel was until she stood up to the first La Primera herself. And then when I saw, I was like, damn, she's about like a foot taller than her. And it's like, she's another person that maybe at some point I can see maybe gets a world title run, and it could work. There's so much going on there, but get Nikki Bella out of here. Why? I know they're probably
Devil's
helping
kiss
her out.
anybody?
Yeah, right. I mean, look, maybe she just needs some money. I think that's part of the reason why she's there, because they're just trying to help her out financially. But get her out of here. Last thing I'll touch on, with the Jey Uso CM Punk thing. I pray that, and I believe it is tonight. Saturday Night Main Event is tonight, right, y'all? Is that tonight? Saturday Night Main Event?
Yes,
tonight?
Saturday Night Main Event is tonight.
It's tonight.
God, no, look, I don't ask for a lot of stuff. I don't want to see Jey Uso win this title. There's a weird part of me that thinks he's going to win this title unless Jimmy is the one that, stops him from winning the title tonight. I also agree. I think they did a good job of shortening what Jay says, because God knows if Jay and Jimmy were conjoined twins, we might get the perfect Uso. I'm just throwing it out there, but yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, So I'm intrigued to see how that goes tonight. But if Punk is going to win it, I'm just kind of want to know where this all goes from there. But Raw was solid. I wouldn't say it was the greatest Raw, but it was definitely a solid Raw. And I am intrigued to see how they get, who they crown with this championship tonight.
Yeah, man. I ain't even gonna lie. It's one of those things, man. It's like, I think we talked about it last week. It kind of feels like maybe Jey Uso is the pick just to take the pin from CM Punk. And again, if CM Punk is the one to have the title, I'm okay with that. I mean, if Jay gets the title again, who are we gonna put him up against? That's the biggest thing for me. It's like, what are we gonna do story-wise? Oh, we're gonna put him up against Braun Breaker. Why? So he can sit there and lose the title in 3 weeks like he did with the Intercontinental Championship last year? So it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, man. And I feel like they fumbled that, because if they would have let him have that title for a good little minute and let him really run with it, I don't think people would have felt the way about Jey Uso now. Right. If they really capitalized and worked on that title reign. Like, if they would have gave him a 6-month reign with an Intercontinental Championship and then moved him on to the main title picture. All right, cool. But y'all gave my man this short title run, so his legitimacy means almost nothing. So, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think if we have Punk do it, let Punk run it. You can have him do stuff with the Vision. Granted, I do not want to see that for a whole 2, 3, 4 months. Like, yeah, I don't want to see that happening every time.
Well, I agree with you with the Jey Uso situation, because, like, here's the thing. If you make him an Intercontinental Champion and give him a run, you build him up instead of forcing him to. And I know they wanted to pop at WrestleMania, and I know, and it still wasn't even that great of a pop when he won the title. Like, it was solid, but it wasn't what they thought. I think they thought it was going to be. They could have waited. They literally could have waited, let him build it, because, like, he would have been a great Intercontinental Champion. The fans love him, and they could look past the flaws a little bit, I think, if he's Intercontinental Champion compared to being a world champion. Because when you're world champion, you got to hit on all cylinders. Yeah. You got to be able to talk. You got to be able to kill it in the ring. You just got to have the whole package. And that's what being the world champion, you have to draw. Now, he had everything. He could draw. He's a solid wrestler. He's a solid wrestler, And then he had the, what's the other part I want to say? He had the crowd and all that stuff. He didn't have the talking ability. You can't be world champion and can't talk unless you got a mouthpiece. If you got a mouthpiece like a Paul Heyman or somebody to talk for you, that's different. But if you don't have that, you better have that, because if not, you're going to get crucified. If he's an Intercontinental Champion, they could have used smaller segments. They didn't have to. They could have helped grow him a little bit, but they decided, nah, we're going to go ahead and just try to, hop, skip, and jump him and put him where he needs to be. And they did him a disservice, y'all. They did him a disservice.
I mean, and I got two things I want to kind of ask. They're more questions than anything, and so we can move on too. Mm-hmm. But just talking about having a mouthpiece and being like world championship caliber, I think about Roman Reigns and like, do you think so? Roman now, he comes out now, he can cut promos on his own. He's like really found himself in over that time. He's from the time he started his whole tribal chief path. But I feel like there was a point in there where Roman struggled with promo work, and they paired him with Paul Heyman. Now, do you think it was Paul Heyman that kind of took him and completed him, and kind of him having Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece per se, and Roman being able to kind of see that, learn that, gave him like better confidence to kind of fall into his own as this tribal chief character? Or is this something that you think Roman already possessed the entire time, and Paul was just an added factor to kind of get him over the top? I guess what I'm trying to say is, how much of what happened with Roman, and his championship run, was because of Paul, as far as mic work was because of Paul kind of helping him along with that, or was this already there with Roman?
I think it's both, but I think it's probably maybe like 65-35 Paul, because like Roman, it like when they did let him talk, it was like, boy, what are you doing here? Obviously, it's in the blood.
Did he say sucker and succotash?
Yeah, he did. He did say sucker and succotash
bad
on that promo, and it's like,
what do they call it when it's all the same letter? I thought it was alliteration or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of I was like,
he said
this
is
you,
sucker and succotash. Like, who told?
And then winked at the camera like he said something crazy.
Yeah,
and then he winked.
And I was like, bro. And I think being around Paul Heyman, it was always there, I think, because like we got to look at the Samoans in history and what they've been able to do and the swag that Samoans have had. And the crazy thing about it, most Samoans get their swag for not even speaking. His dad and his uncle, the Wild Samoans, they didn't even really talk like talking about, but they just had this aura. Umaga did not talk aura
at all.
When Roman beat Undertaker at that WrestleMania, and he just came out to the ring that night, and he didn't say nothing for 15 minutes and booed.
And the whole crowd booed.
Right then and there, the aura just hit him. And that's the thing.
I remember we talked about that the next day. I remember we talked about that the next day.
It was crazy. That was the time. If they were going to turn him then, that was the time, and it would have worked out perfectly. He didn't have to say anything. He could have just said a couple words in the ring and be like, this is my yard. Like he did at the end. This is my yard now. So all he had to say every time he came out, and they would have booed him profusely. So I think it's probably 65-35. It's in there. So the 35% is him having it. The other 65 had to be, if not higher, had to be Paul Heyman, polishing his game and making him what he is now. Like, I mean, you can't underestimate, and it's going to help out Breaker, and both Bronze are going to get that same treatment if done right.
So two more questions. It's supposed to be just two, but now that brought up another point. So as an example, all right. So if we were to pair a Jey Uso with Paul Heyman, do you think that would be able to take Jey Uso to the next level? Like, if there's a next level. I mean, the man has been a world heavyweight champion, but
I think
could he reach the same stratosphere that that Roman Reigns reached, to the point now where he says, "Acknowledge me"? It actually means something, because the history of him not being acknowledged for most of his career,
right? Until
he became the tribal chief. Now everybody acknowledges him.
It's weird because like I feel like the whole like him being the next tribal chief, I feel like we've kind of almost drifted and past that story. I think if they did continue with trying to move Jey as the tribal chief, and then Paul was maybe shifting to Jey, and then we kind of seen that happen, and you kind of seeing the polishing happen, I think that would have been fine. I think now it might be one of those things where I think Paul might be better off just talking to him, before the show, whatever, backstage, maybe producing some of the stuff and just trying to help him polish some of his promo work. And I think that'll probably help for him. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those where it's like I don't want to say it's too late, because it ain't never too late, but
True.
I think what Jey, man, like, it's too much history that's happened now where people can't forget the BS.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the BS he's been doing, but it's just the BS that's been coming with it. So I think it's gonna be hard, and it's like it's probably gonna take it would probably take a solid 2, 3, maybe even 4 months where people will probably see him like improve and be like, oh no, he's way better now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's possible.
I mean, I want it for Jey. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go ahead, HB.
No, I was just gonna say, I want it for Jey. Like, I think he has the talent. Like, he's got the connection with the crowd. He's got the in-ring ability and talent. It's just if he's going to be at that next level, his mic work that's his last straw. That's his last thing. That's, for me anyway. I don't know how, but for me that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that he had if he was going to do the Paul Heyman thing, it had to happen maybe as like he was Intercontinental Champion or something. Like I felt like it feels too late because of how they've handled it. Yeah. And so like it's like in a lot of people's eyes that he just can't get right when it comes to the promos. And every now and then he has a lapse. And maybe it could work, but I think they would have to go another path with it. Like I think like how like they're shortening his stuff now, like you guys were saying. Maybe it's that, where he's saying very relevant things, but in a short capacity with the help of a Paul Heyman. I would even say, and this is just throwing it out there, like if MVP was there, just because it's a different voice.
Oh, yeah.
I think that MVP style would fit Jay a little bit more because Jay's a little bit more of that. Yeah, it's that more that
street, that rugged
right. He's more
kinda,
street, and MVP and MVP is more street. You know what I'm saying? Like MVP said on Chris Van Vliet a couple months ago that Paul Heyman was grooming him to be the next him. So like I feel like if MVP was still there, MVP would be perfect for Jay because it would be that street style compared to Roman, who has this I'm this larger than life aura, which fits Paul Heyman style, like the Brock Lesnar's, the CM Punks. So maybe under that circumstance.
All right, my last thing, so we can move on, fellas. I mean to drag us down.
Hey man, talk away, baby. Like me and look, we got time. Look,
play it time.
But this happened, and I meant to address this in my whole diatribe, and I lost it. What the hell is going on with WWE LA Knight?
Oh God!
Oh, they've got to be setting him up.
What? Why? Why?
If they're not,
because it ain't human nature. I'm gonna tell you
why.
Why? Tell them
that's human nature. Why? How do you do me that way?
Why are they doing him that way? It's crazy because I feel like if they're not setting him up to win the Rumble with the way they've kind of treated him this last like 6 months, like actually 2 years, because like he probably should have been world champion by now.
At least twice. At least twice.
He's your top 3 talker in the company. It's Punk, it's him, and probably
Drew McIntyre,
who also needs to be world champion. He needs to win tonight. But that's down the road. I don't want to get into that right now. But yeah. I mean,
and clean.
It's just
let him go home and spend time with his family.
Another criminal.
Send him home and spend time with his family.
Another criminal and sinister act to the highest order.
Man.
The highest order.
Claymore him back to Georgia.
I don't understand what WWE is doing with LA Knight. I really don't. Like, you put him in this situation against Braun, and Braun beats him clean. And we're supposed to be expecting him to be next in line to be a championship contender. Keep in mind, Gunther is not in this, in this picture at all. He has not returned, but that's another person that's somewhere in this picture. And we've already been building Braun up as Mr. WrestleMania for the next 10 years, according to Paul Heyman. So I don't understand that if LA Knight is anywhere in this picture, why do we keep putting him in these situations where he's being thrown over the ropes to lose a championship opportunity? And you say, okay, well, you try to give him grace because you're like, all right, well, they did that because they don't want LA Knight to face a CM Punk and have to take the pin. We want to try to keep him clean, keep him looking good, keep him looking strong. And then the very next week, you put him in a match with Braun Breaker, and the man gets speared, just diabolically, and pinned 1, 2, 3 with no interference, no nothing, just a clean pin to LA Knight, and he's supposed to be somewhere in this picture. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's criminal, man. I'm just to the point, man. It's just like, man, y'all gonna keep doing my man LA Knight like he ain't one of the best I can be, a face and a heel. I've said this before for months. If this man went heel and he brought out that dummy button, yeah, man, look, the merch will go up. The merch will go up, man. Like it's so much. It's so many criminal acts they have done to this man, LA Knight, and it legitimately pisses me off. This grinds my gears. Y'all sit here and put him up against Roman. Okay, cool. Even though he could have been the one to beat Roman, people would have been okay with that. That's somebody that can really talk, really give you a story. Then it's like,
and the match
cool.
was phenomenal. The match with Roman was phenomenal. It showed he could hang and could be that.
Yeah. Then it's like, then you give him the U.S. title. All right, cool. Beat Logan Paul. Fine. We're okay with that. We needed him to take that title off of him. But then you squander it and you give it the title to Shinsuke. Why? For Shinsuke to have a title for 3 weeks and you give it back to LA Knight?
Made no sense to me.
No sense.
Yeah.
It's like y'all are legitimately killing any of these title reigns that would make, like, you give somebody that have a 2-3 month title reign. All right, well, let's take it off him for about 3 weeks. Let's put it back on him. What was the point? Like, I don't know. And then they do it 2 weeks or so before a PLE where you could have took the title off. Just some of these decisions, I don't think they are thinking this through. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody needs to be on the chopping block, and it might be Triple H.
They need to put that on Unreal Part 2. How are they making these decisions? Like, why are they making some decisions?
They ain't gonna show that. They ain't gonna show that.
No, it's bad. Because
they know
really bad.
The stupidity that goes up in there. I don't want to even see it. I don't even want to. They done piss me off, man. But we talked about some of the interesting things that happened on Monday Night Raw. Now it is truly time to talk about that man Sean cooking it up with NXT, baby.
Hey, my bad, D. Too many chefs in the kitchen.
I was like, I thought I hit it, but then it's all good. It's all good. It's been a while.
I said, what? I said, I said something about
because I was like, is D hitting it? Am I hitting it?
No, did he?
No, hit it.
Somebody's hitting it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man. All right. Let's talk about this episode of NXT. Look, I truly loved this episode. Man, look. First of all, I think...
See you, Sean.
Sean, look, man, my man, shout out to you, my man, Sean, man, Sean out here. That's my man from TikTok, man. Love hearing everything you be talking about on there. Always got some great wrestling insight. Honestly, I feel like if we're in WWE in like 2015, 16, 17, 18, I feel like, and the reason why I say this timeline, because I do feel like NXT is the best show to offer out at WWE. Now, that is kind of sad and bad to say at the same time, because you would think with the main roster, they should be killing it. But NXT, Sean, you are still keeping that consistency. And man, I am proud. Because this episode, I mean, we starting it off. Come on, we got to talk about that boy. Hollywood Trick, 2-brand Trick, First Class Trick, Trick NA. Come on. Stop talking while grown. What is Stop talking while grown folks is talking. Or be quiet while grown. I said, man, look, Trick, you showing your age so much with this, man. Look, I done told her, me and Trick the same age. So I don't know how many times you done heard that from your family telling you, mind your business while grown folks is talking. I said, yeah, Trixie, I know you was nosy. First of all, you saying this to a man that's probably twice your age. I said, Trick, you crazy. You see the bald spot? Come on. The man is obviously a grown man. I mean, Trick started the episode in the production room. Then he's like walking down. He done told another dude, be quiet while grown folks. Then he pushed some random dude on the way. But then he's sitting there talking about telling Ricky, I want my title. You ain't do nothing, Ricky. He said, I want my title. And that's what it is. Then he said, my man Trick gave out the list of his accomplishments. Being NXT champion, North American champion, beating Carmelo Hayes, being Ilya Dragunov for that NXT title. He said, damn it, Trick Williams is goated. I said, you know what, Trick Willie Wonka, you on this one, man. I said, you know what? You got it. But Ricky Saints, boy, look, I ain't gonna lie. I wish I could have got a clip of this, but the way my man was strolling out
Pretty
the
Ricky,
ring,
what they call him.
man, he came out there strolling with that title, man. And he said, I know you're not talking when you just got your ass beat. I mean, these guys came in and just immediately started to brawl. And I loved every single second of this. It felt personal. It felt like a rivalry. It felt like these two men hated each other. And honestly, this continued throughout the night. But then we got a flash forward, okay, to something that was incredible. I love this segment right here. Tatum Paxley. She said, you know, I know some people have said we didn't have the wheel for Halloween Havoc, but I created my own wheel, and I'm going to be having an open challenge tonight. Now, the funny thing is, Sean Spears pointed out, he said, Izzy, how come your name's not on here? Dang. I said, But Tatum said, I would never put Izzy in that situation because I never want us to fight for something that would come in between us. I said, yep, here we go. Somebody's going to be turning sooner or later. And you know how Izzy is. Look, I mean, Izzy, don't get me wrong. Izzy, I like Izzy Dane for real. But you can tell she's low-key plotting on whatever's going on. But honestly, I love this. But Lola Vice was the pick for her title match that night. I'm going to see how that actually transpired. Then we flash forward. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie. This was low-key criminal. Kendall Gray beating Lash Legends. Now, I'm not even going to cap. This, again, was a great match. Lash did her thing. But again, it's like, I thought to myself, why is Lash competing for the Evolve Championship? Granted, Kendall Gray just won that from Callie Armstrong a few weeks ago. So I didn't expect Kendall Gray to lose it, but I was like, well, I'll be okay if Lash won it. She needed to do something. Boy, again.
Trying to make our girl enhance talent. They're trying to make our girl enhance talent.
I'm sick of this, man. Like, it's like Lash is another one that's got everything. And honestly, she should have had that North American title before Blake Monroe. We've been saying, like, I just, you know, that mid-card title it's damn near criminal. There's a lot of women that should have that, and Lash should be one of them. But again, this is criminal. Then we flash forward. And Sean, I ain't too mad at you all the time, but that one low-key pissed me off. We had Miles Bourne going up against Tavion Heights. Now, this was actually a really good match. Josh Briggs, you know how it is. If you ask my man Jay Movie Mania, he would tell you they do not like Josh Briggs. They constantly cheer and say, Josh Briggs, go away. Josh Briggs, go away. I mean, that tells you a whole lot. That tells you a whole lot. I mean, this man was on. Now, don't get me wrong. Josh Briggs is actually pretty good. Like, he's decent on the mic, good in the ring. But it's something about him, man, that people just hate him. And I mean, I guess that's a good thing. If you a heel, take the heat. Use that heat and be that guy. But I love what he did. He tried to interfere with Tavion Heights, which granted with Miles Bourne. And I was like, well, you don't really need to interfere with anything. But he started to interfere. Actually, in a way, got you to help Miles Bourne. But to the point where Miles got the actual, not much of a rolling pin, but a grappling pin on Tavion Heights. And honestly, that was the end of that. Then we flash forward. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this because even after that happened, what happened with Josh Briggs? He's beating the hell out of freaking Tavion Heights. But, of course, how the chaos continues. Willy Wonka hitting Miles Bourne with the freaking chair to call out Ricky again. I said, Trick, what the hell is wrong with you? He said, come on. He said, Ricky, I'm not done with you, Ricky. Ricky, come on. Here goes Ricky again out of nowhere, just ready, and just came from the crowd, and they're beating the hell out of each other. They're brawling again. And honestly, I mean, again, this is probably like my favorite segments that were going on. And we got a lot more that happened within that night. Then we flash forward. Oh, man, to the women's match. Now, the women's match, I really do kind of like. I really liked how this match went out. Granted, ended in a no contest, but I like what was going on. Tatum Paxley killing it in the ring. Lola Vice, you know, she is that Latina. You know how that goes with them. But Fatal Influence interfering. interrupting the match, beating the hell out of Lola Vice, beating the hell out of Tatum Paxley. And honestly, we're going to see what happens with that because apparently it seemed like JC Jane gave and declared a title match. So we're going to see what happens with that. Then we flash forward. Man, now this is what I want to talk about. Jordan Grace going up against my girl Lonnie. Man, look, now this is good. This is a really good match. I love how it went. Okay, Kalani thought about grabbing a title, puts it down. But of course, what the hell is going on? Trick and Ricky Saints. I mean, these men are still out here brawling. I said, man, this is about the third time, and I love every single second of this. I mean, these men are brawling from outside the ring, then they go in the ring, then they done roll their asses out the ring. Now, at that point, with the distractions and everything going on, Kalani, okay, looked at the title. She almost second-guessed it. Jordan Grace walked up to her. What happened? Bada, bing, bada, boom, bam. I mean, come on, look at this. I said, yeah, Lonnie, that's how you do that. Takes the title, tosses out the ring. Tosses out the ring, gets Jordan Grace, pins her for the 1, 2, 3. And now look at this. What I loved about it, right after, the ref, he's going out there looking what's going on with Ricky Saints and was tricked. Kalani runs out, grabs that title, right? Acts like ain't nothing. Grabs the title, comes back in. And then even on top of that, after she had did that, she made this little face. She had this little face on her. It was like, oh, sorry. And then after that, she had this little smug look on her face. And the face that she made after, when she looked at Jordan Grace, looking down, I said, oh. I said, boy, you know what I got off of that? You know what I got off of that? I'm going to tell you what I got. I'm pretty sure y'all know. I got a certain kind of chills. That's those damn Rock chills off of that. The Rock chills, man. You can't tell me that one. I said, Lonnie, you are killing this right now. I loved it. I love this 100%. But even right after that, okay, the chaos still continues with Ricky and Trick to the point where Ricky puts Trick, y'all already know that whole little NXT banner they got, put them through that. They put each other through there. But then Ava says in 2 weeks, it's going to be a last man standing match. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams for the NXT title. And this is the finish right here. Oh, Sean, you stupid for that one. Man, look, I truly love this episode, man. Honestly, couple of main things I got to talk about. First thing, Trick. Hey, you a funny dude. Hey, mind your business while grown folks is poking. I say, you know what? Give this man a shirt that says that. I mean, I don't know what else we got to do with it. I love what's going on with him and Ricky, man. Him and Pretty Ricky just going crazy. I love them. It feels personal. I mean, even from Halloween Havoc, when they even built up, the week before, I said, my God, like Trick telling Ricky, look, you did this stuff on the indie scene, but I'm gonna tell you right now, do I look like I'm made for the indies? I said, come on, Trick, stop playing, bro. Don't be out here disrespecting now. Okay, we get it. You athlete now. Don't be disrespecting the indie wrestlers now. Like, they ain't nothing. Because you had to learn it. Them boys been knew what to do. So, but I love what they did. And then even when Pretty Ricky was telling them before, like, you won't even be built for this. You would fold like the clothes you had. I said, damn, Ricky. I said, I like that. That was good how you did that. But I love even when from those couple of weeks transcended to this, oh yeah. This makes me love this rivalry. I think this might be one of my favorite rivalries for Trick and even for Ricky. This might be Ricky's best rivalry that he's had since he's been on NXT. The whole thing with him and Ethan Page wasn't bad. I like that one. The one with him and Ova, pretty fast. But this one with him and Trick, yeah, I think they're making each other better. And I'm loving this. I'm loving every single thing about this. Last thing. Lonnie, man. Look, hey, Lonnie, you're killing this now. Now, this is what I've been talking about. I needed to see from you, girl. This is good. This is good. I know y'all remember. Look, I remember talking about my girl Kalani last year. All right, when I was saying, what is gonna be? How is it gonna be if it's gonna be like Lonnie? What if anybody can do it like Lonnie? Well, guess what? Lonnie, you doing this now. And even before, when she had the North American title, they try to tease a little bit of a healer side to her. But this is what I'm talking about. And I like this different side. I like how they're doing this. It's not like they're forcing her to be completely healed. No. But what I like is it's like that little sweet, slick side. Nice and sweet and innocent, but I'm going to do my dirt on the low, and you'll never know because you see this face, you immediately think, I've done nothing wrong. I said, you know what? That's the character for her heel, for her heel side that she needs. And she capitalized off of it, and she delivered perfectly. Love how she did the title, smacking Jordan Grace in the face with it. I said, man, this is what I'm talking about. And I think this helped her a lot for her being on TNA. I think, sometimes I keep trying to think, like, what is the purpose of bringing some of these people and giving them this TNA title? But I think in certain ways, certain people that have gotten these TNA titles, it has definitely enhanced them and made them better. Like, we talk about Trick. Trick's been doing whatever. And, before we used to say how, his promo work, he might slip and slide a little bit. But him being on TNA, him doing all his promo work on there with a bigger crowd and even just a little bit of a larger, even a different crowd at that, it's helped him be just what he is now. And I think that's the same thing that's going to be happening with Kalani. Because, I mean, shoot, like, I wouldn't have never guessed this would have been her whole, like, story or her, should I say. But I like this. This is extremely good, and I'm loving this. And honestly, Sean, you're cooked up. But again, I'm not going to keep taking this Lash disrespect. You need to do something with Lash. Yeah. I'm going to say this before. You need to do something with Lash. You need to do something with Lola. You need to do something with Jada. You need to put a title on one of these three. And you need to do something. Well, it looks like y'all might be doing something with Zarya. But we've been waiting for that for a whole year. So this is something that should have happened. Granted. So that's one last thing I got to talk about too. So Ruka and Zarya. Okay. So giving up the title. All right. She told Ava, look, I don't even think I want to have anybody defend this. I'm going to relinquish this because I didn't lose the last one. And if you seen how Zarya looked, and she was like, come on. I mean, what do you expect? You expect me when you couldn't even get the job done the first time. Hey, you expect me to let you defend this title too and lose it like you lost my North American title? By the way, even on Halloween Havoc, when they came out, Zarya was sitting there holding the title, and I knew in the crowd, if you looked at the crowd, everybody was like, what the hell is she doing? It looked crazy. It looked crazy. You had Zarya holding the title, holding it up like it was hers. That was Soul's. It looked and sounded crazy, but then when she lost it, I said, here we go. Let's get it. Come on. Now you got Blake Monroe. Let's get some other freaking people with this title. And I know why y'all gave that title to Blake Monroe. You ain't slick. You only did it just because you can say, oh, we brought somebody from AEW, and look what that. Look what we did. Now we got a title on.
The trend continues.
They did it. They did it with Ethan Page. They're doing it with Blake Monroe, and we're seeing it with Pretty Ricky Saints. So, I mean,
Pretty Ricky,
hey,
that's what they call
them. Three of the top titles, all AEW stars, all former AEW stars right now. So,
yeah. So, I mean, and again, I get it, but at the same time, bro, come on, man. You got people that have been here for years. Like, Lash, come on. She's had aura. What do we got her doing enhancing talent? Get her ass on that main roster. Come on. The women need it on that main roster. You got way too many people, way too many women on NXT that are damn near ready. You need to throw them up on that main roster. You need to have some more people on Raw to do something for that Intercontinental Champion. You can do something with that Women's World Heavyweight Champion. You think I want to see La Primera and freaking Nikki Bella? Hell no.
Super hell no.
But what would I like to see? I'd be okay with seeing La Primera and Lola Vice go up against each other, or La Primera and a Jada Parker. Hell, La Primera and a Lash Legends. Come on, that's the big Lash. We need to see some with Lola. Come on, man. I feel you, Sean, 100%. Lola, she is main roster because she is the Latina. Stop playing with her, man. It's just, again, I love what NXT is doing, but when it comes to that women's division, they need to start pulling some of these women up, man. The ones that that are ready, that are definitely ready, have aura, have the ability in the ring, call them up. Because I ain't gonna lie, the women that on the main roster, they are hurting. Bad. Yep. Very bad. Very bad. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, for the sake of time, I think you've hit everything that I would need to say about this show. Highlight, of course, was definitely Pretty Ricky and Trick. I hated to see what happened with Lash, but my only thing I'd like to add to this whole conversation is the fact that I think about this and I wonder if WWE just doesn't pull some of these talents, especially in the women's division, up to the main roster, because they just at this point in time they don't have the space. Like I hear what you're saying, even I'm like, okay, where are they putting them? Because these last couple of on both shows now, they seem very targeted, very focused. It's 2 hours long. You know, it's not like they're doing like the big 3 hour shows as much anymore. And so where do you have time to have like a Lash Legend or to display a Lash Legends, a Lola Vice, a Jada Parker, or in the case where you, let's say, pull up a Trick Williams? I'm sure you can create a storyline around it, but everything is always centered around really the same like group of people, which is what we were talking about the other week when we had such a good match between my girl from Alpha Academy and
Avi now,
not American. I'm sorry, not
Becky
Alpha
Lynch?
Academy. No, Becky Lynch and what's my girl? Not
Maxine
Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. Thank you. It was killing me. Maxine
You was getting there though, brother. We knew where you were going.
I'm absolutely terrible with names. There's so many names to remember. It's hard. So bear with me. I'm also getting old. But yeah, Maxine Dupree. Like you talk about putting like she finally got to kind of display her talents. And like we said, we don't with them not having the house shows anymore. It's kind of hard. Like where's Obafemi? I still been saying, we didn't see him on NXT, SmackDown, Raw. We don't. What's happening with him?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
gonna talk about him.
I'm wondering like how do you pull them up? And at least on NXT we get to see these ladies. Now I don't believe that Lash Legends that gives them reason to have Lash Legends enhance talent. But I'm also the mindset of like I just don't see what they would do with them on the main roster. They would just be sitting in catering, and we're still going to be seeing Becky Lynch. We're going to be seeing the Kabuki Warriors. We're going to be seeing Charlotte, and it's because they have such a hardcore group of women that I don't know how you would really get a good story going with a Lola, a Lash, and the rest of them. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
I can't forget about Chelsea Green.
Here's the thing, man. And I ain't been on in a while, so I might be a smidge long-winded, but I'm gonna try to keep it tight, y'all. So, all right, first things first. I agree with Eric, especially when it comes to Kalani, because what they did with Trick, bringing Trick over there and making him Hollywood Trick, TNA,
Two brands,
Trick and A, all that stuff. It changed everything about him. Like it made like he was good on NXT, but when he had that TNA swag to go, and it just made him the ultimate antagonist. Like people just was like, yo, they still love Trick, but they wanted to see Trick lose. That's what you want as a heel. Like you want to be able to love the guy, but if you lose, you're not gonna be upset. It's just like a combination of everything. Like it worked out. Kalani has done some really good work over the last year. And I think they're gonna try, like you said, I think they're gonna try to do the same thing with Kalani. But in hers, it may be a little different because they show that everybody, Kalani, she's so pretty and she
She's
seems
so
like
innocent.
she's so innocent,
sweet. She's a
but
sweetheart.
I think the nasty side is gonna come out, and people are here for it. Like, I love that they are pushing her, because out of all of those women, the Lashes, the Jadas, the Lolas, she was the last one out of that group, maybe Soul, that I thought that they would push harder. Kalani got it in the ring. They all got it in the ring. I don't want to take it away from it. But if you based off Royal Rumble appearances, Jada was in the Rumble. Wasn't Lash in the Rumble?
I think she was in it twice. I think Jada was in it twice.
So they've been in the Rumble. And they still haven't sniffed the main Raw. We saw the reaction that Jada got when she came out at the Rumble and the Lash Legends in it. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, oh, what could it be that and Lola, I'll include her in there, that these three women haven't gotten not one title shot, or not.
They get the title shot, but they never get a title.
Right? They lose, and you're like, how? Like their swag is on another level. Like, we've seen it, and it's like this is, if I'm gonna say Sean or tripping up on anything, it's the mishandling of those three women. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why they haven't. And I like Tatum Paxley. I think she's great. But and JCJ, even her, there's no reason that those three women have had a title reign yet. Even if it was for a month or two, there's no reason why three of the women that you developed to the core have not had a title run yet in NXT. That to me is crazy. Blake Monroe comes in and gets it. I understand. She does have star power. We know, everybody wants to say she's the next Toni Storm, and it's not the same, y'all. By the way,
they try to call it Timu Tony.
Right. Like, by the way, it's not the same thing. Toni Storm's character there may be small similarities, but they're very small. The characters are completely different, and I don't get that. She has not went black and white and said hello to, like, it's none of that stuff. Like, it's a completely different dream. I like Blake. Right. I like Blake Monroe. But I
get a more Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie feel.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more 70s, late 60s, and it's like 50s and 40s. So if you want to say that it's old timey, I get that. But that's not it, y'all. Like, those women deserve those opportunities. And this is going to be racist, but I'm going to say it. Brown and black people make great heels. That's just, if you look at the history,
yikes.
Brown and black people make great heels. I mean, think about it. What would you rather have? Heel Bobby Lashley or face Bobby Lashley?
You don't make me answer this.
I'm just making Mark Henry. Would you like sexual chocolate Mark Henry, or do you want Hall of Pain Mark Henry?
Yeah,
I want that Hall of Pain. You see how you talk to JR?
That's my point. And I hate to say, and like I say, this may sound, and I'm not trying to be racist, but in the world of wrestling, brown and black people work better as heels. Jada Parker could be a face. It ain't gonna be the same. The swag is different. Lash Legend, she could be a face, as we could tell, but when she's that bad bougie, guess what? It's different.
The big
Lola, yeah, she's out there with Mr. Iguana, and she's Latina, all that stuff. But if she went heel, guess what? The swag is different. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's a harsh reality. But Brown makes better hit. The Rock. The Rock's a better heel than he is a face. Everybody loves the Final Boss, but I don't want, and yes, Fun Rock with the guitar and all that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, like, those ladies could thrive on the main roster. Problem is, like Heartbreak Prince said, they just don't have enough. There's not enough time. Like, one of those ladies could easily be Intercontinental Champion or U.S. Champion, and they had the mouthpiece to run with it, especially Jada. And they can make it happen. But yet you give Julia the title, who's still kind of learning English, and nothing against Stephanie Valkyrie, another person still trying to learn English. Great wrestler. Won't take that away from her. But you're missing out on a disconnect with the crowd when you got somebody who can talk like the Lash Legends, the Lola Vices, and the Jada Parkers. That's all I want to say about that. Trick and Ricky, you killed it. But I get you guys. It's just, I'm tired of seeing that. That's the only thing I'll say. Sean, what is going on here? But those three ladies deserve more, way more.
And I will also want to add that I think a huge part of that is your boy Trips. I just don't think he really knows how to market and handle somebody like a Lash Legends, a Lola Vice, Jada Parker. Like it's I think that's a huge part of it too. Like, okay, bringing them up and then being creative with them, and being able to really, create segments and build segments and stuff like that around them. Like, I feel like unless you're a Trips guy, like, like you're probably not going to get anywhere like with him. I just looking at how he's doing like title reigns now with different people. Like, I don't feel like LA Knight is a Trips guy. I just don't think that's why he squashes on him. Jey Uso, I think that was like a quick cash grab, and then it was like move on. It's, to me, he's always going with the people that he's comfortable with. He's comfortable with the Gunther. He's comfortable with the Seth Rollins. He's comfortable with a CM Punk. He's comfortable with a John Cena coming back and running as champion. And that's why you really don't see a new wave or a new push for newer faces to carry the brand. It's like always 10 years the same main players that are the title is constantly circling around those same people over and over and over. And it's just that's a huge problem, which is also the reason why I don't want to see Lash go to the main roster and then be in catering. We don't have anything for you. And get buried. Like, I mean, I think about some of the talent that came up. Like we had Keith Lee, phenomenal run in NXT. Should have done more, on the main roster. I know Trips wasn't fully in charge at that moment in time, but they squandered that with him. I thought Samoa Joe should have been bigger and better and better. When he made it up to the main roster, that's kind of gone away. And we talked about Finn Balor having his opportunity, and that kind of dropping and falling to the wayside. It's a really weird thing that I feel like you can almost pick who's going to be the favorites of a Triple H when they get to the main roster. Like, you knew Julia, it was going to be a matter of time before Julia had a championship. But when La Primera came, you knew instantly she was going to be in the main title.
I knew that
title picture. You could just pick them. You can tell. Like, that's why I'm a little nervous about Oba Fear Me joining the main roster, because what is Trips going to do with a talent like that? What are you going to do with that?
I mean, look what he's doing to Carmelo. Look at
Carmelo Hayes.
Should be way further than where he is.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too.
I mean, isn't that insane?
It's the same thing. It's always the same thing, and that's why I'm like, look, I kind of enjoy them being on the NXT roster because of the fact that at least in NXT we get to see them kind of in these great storylines. We don't always get what we want, and that's part of it. You don't even always get what you want, but at least we're able to see these people in great matches and great shows, great title matches, like a Javon Evans going to the main roster. Yeah, I'd be happy for Javon, but what is Triple H really going to do? He's going to look at him like, that's the old flippy, trippy, dippy guy.
That's flippy, trippy, dippy guy.
And he's going to be buried. That's how Trips looked at the
Javon Ricochet is crazy work.
That's how they're going to do him. That's how they're going to do him.
That's a good one.
That's how I feel.
It's
Karrion Kross, another missed opportunity. Crowd is telling you, we want Karrion. And what do they do?
We want Kross.
And they let him go. And then you give Aleister Black.
I do you a better one. They said we want Kross. And he said, you want Brock? Yeah, we got it. All right, Trish.
I know.
He
said we want Kross. He heard Brock.
Yeah. He heard what they said. He heard exactly what they said. I'm like,
you gotta be a Trish guy. And if you're not that, you can forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I will say this too real quick. Like, I feel like you got workhorse Roxanne Perez. They done brought Roxanne Perez up to be a workhorse and put a lot of people over. That's what she's been since she's gotten there. But we know Roxanne Perez is way more than that.
Yeah,
like, and that's the thing. Like, she comes up and she doesn't tag titles, but no singles run right off the bat. And they're pretty much waiting for Liv to get back to even toss her any, eventually at some point to extend the Judgment Day for another 4 years. She is like, she's one that I would have been very, like, it would have made more sense to push earlier than Julia, or maybe, even La Primera. But it's just, hey, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't make the book.
We can't forget the Profits.
Oh, the Profits. Now they're a tag team again. What happened to all the hate? I thought that where's the heel turn I thought we were gonna get? It's not there. What the
and also don't forget he just straight let Bobby and them go. So we got nothing for you. We got the whole Hurt business, the whole Hurt syndicate.
Nothing for
you. Nothing. You can't think of nothing.
You see how they doing on AEW.
Killing it.
Going crazy. Yeah. And you see what Ricochet is doing on AEW.
Ricochet
going crazy. Man, we've talked about nighttime, man. Just the stuff that they do. We can tell how underutilized they've been on WWE, but then when you see them on AEW doing something completely different, something that is just out of what we would have thought, and you're seeing the magic that they're making, it's like, well, you could have had that. You could have had that if you gave them the chance, or if you wasn't trying to create everything yourselves. If you let the wrestlers do some stuff, you could have gold. You could have magic.
Wait till the bomb joins her husband over there, because we know it's happening. And then how in the world did she get a 1-year non-compete clause? Wrestlers get 90 days. She got a year.
Yeah.
That's insane work. Like, I mean, I don't even get her getting.
I thought it was 2 years. It was hers.
Yeah. So it's 2 years. How does she get a 2-year bad boy? I mean, I guess that was the stipulation in order for her to get out, because they thought she was going to go straight there. And they was like, we'll let you out, but you got a 2-year, which is insane work. Like, for an announcer, quote unquote announcer, there's wrestlers that get 90-day, but she gets a 2-year bad boy. But I think that was just her. They were mad at her for leaving. They didn't want her to go, and it was like, oh, so you want to do that? You're gonna get 2.
And it's just like, but at the same time, it's like, if she's telling y'all, hey, I want to do a little bit more, I can do more. And y'all like, nah, we like you as a wrestling announcer. All right, well, I'm gone. Like, if people aren't content with what they're doing and they want to tell you they want to do more, give them a damn chance.
Give them a shot. You put her on NXT.
Tristan, was he content being second fiddle to Sean?
Yeah, when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Was he content being Hunter Hearst Helmsley? No.
The blue blood.
The Triple H Terror of Reign, and then the 04, the 06.
Terror Rising.
The Reign of Terror.
Remember when he was terrorizing up in WCW? Terror Rising. What a name. That's sinister. I don't know, fellas. I don't know. It's a little frustrating.
It is. It's a little frustrating. It is. It is when it comes to WWE, but you gotta be. I don't know. We've been saying this for so long. It's got to be patient. But how much more patience can you really have when you keep seeing the BS every single week?
$30 for a PLE.
And you can easily change. And then this is the thing. You can make easily. This is an easy, small change you can fix and make it better. And there's no way y'all sit here in this freaking boardroom and say, yeah, this works. Let's do it.
Yeah, this has got to be what we're going with. What?
They need to have at least bring one fan that's not a yes man and just bring somebody in there and just read out the damn storyline for the whole show and let them see what they say. And if they're like, I'm not feeling this, what else could y'all give? What? There's so much. And I think that's what frustrates me the most about this whole situation with Triple H, man. It's because, again, we've seen the magic what him and Sean have done on NXT in those prime black and gold years. So when you come out here and you pulling this same BS Vince late 2010s, and when you're sitting there pulling like 2017, 18, 19 Vince stuff, so you just had a successful 2024, 2023, and now we're on 2025, and you can't even give us good quality storylines. And we used to have that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it changed. Unless TKO is pulling more strings than we know and making him do certain things, which is the only logical thing compared to what we were seeing 2 years ago from him. Because 2 years ago, it was like, okay, guys, this is what we're on the right path. Right? Because we got so much bad for so long, it would just look better. But now it's like he's lost and confused. And I'm like, how did you get so lost and confused on the vision? Like, and we should have known this when he did it to Daniel Bryan. Remember when Daniel Bryan was coming up? I know we got to move on, y'all, but you remember when Daniel Bryan was coming up and he had to force his way into that main event? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Triple H didn't like it then. And I don't think ever since then, he's like against people forcing their way into the main event. Even with Jey Uso,
He said that.
Yeah, Jey Uso, they got forced into the main event. LA Knight they're trying to kick him in there. They're just, LA, get in there. And they're like, nah, we don't want you to have that. It's like, it's the weirdest thing. I couldn't explain it.
But Tripp has said that he doesn't like fans hijacking creative and being in charge of.
But that's the
having
whole
a say in it.
thing.
That's the thing, bro.
But we're the fans. We are what drive the product. You know what I'm saying? We come to the shows because we want to. Like, obviously, not everybody can be a champion, but we drive the product.
Well, what's driving the product is we had the highest gate.
Stupid high gate. Yeah, you charging people $3 billion. They charging
people. At this point in time, it's all about the gate and how you pay it.
It's all about the gate and how you pay it. It's all about the gate and how you pay it.
And how you pay it. He's in control.
$30,000 for WrestleMania tickets.
That's all that matters.
The thing, man. If we were getting quality like NXT Black and Gold, like my man Sean was saying, which was definitely an era where it was goated.
Oh my God.
We're talking about, like, of course, y'all already know who I'm about to say. The Undisputed Era, one of my favorite groups of all time. We got to do an Exclusive Minds episode about that, our top 5 favorite factions, because I'm gonna go crazy with that one. But I mean, if you were charging people for that quality of a product, yeah, I'd pay. I'd pay the $30 damn. I'd pay for another damn Peacock subscription.
Exactly.
For all these other subscriptions, y'all, because if the quality is that good,
it's worth it.
Paying for it. It's worth paying for.
And it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not miserable, but it ain't as good as it could be.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I'll pay for good as it could be, but it just ain't there.
Yeah,
it just ain't there. Nope.
Yeah. Come on, Sean. You know it.
My man, Sean.
Oh man. But, we talked about some of the great things that happened with NXT. Now it's time to talk about the best part of the end of the week, Friday Night SmackDown. I ain't gonna lie, man. SmackDown. Let me just tell y'all what I did before I got home. Because, it's a little different. I went out, me and my wife, celebrate. It's different now. Different things in life are happening for us. So it's a lot of good things. So my wife, me and my wife went out, went to a bar, celebrated, had a few drinks. Okay, I'm home. It's about 7:45. Close to 8 o'clock yesterday. So, I'm feeling a little lit. I'm not even that lit,
but lit enough. Right.
Lit enough to where I said, all right, maybe if I'm watching SmackDown, I might feel excited about this. I might be hyped because sometimes I ain't gonna lie. When I see SmackDown, I'm like, man, I'm just watching this just to review this at this point, man.
And it wasn't like that a couple of months back. It was at one point.
Yeah, or sometimes they'll give us a great episode where they're not in America, and then the next week they can't pull off the same. And that's the thing that pisses me off. That is the thing that pisses me off. You guys give us phenomenal shows outside of America, and then as soon as y'all come back to the same old BS, the same repeat, recycle. I mean, it's crazy. But that being said, the reason why I said that is because we want to talk about this first segment because I immediately had so many thoughts running through my head. I was watching this, man. They started it off with Tiffy time. Okay, Tiffany Stratton coming out, trying to call out Jade. You see she's got the wrap on her knee. You see she's sitting out here trying to call her out, saying, Jade, where are you? Where you're at? Where are you? Where are you? I said, all right, whatever. I get it. You the champ. You're trying to call her out. Now, mind you, that attack that Jade put on Tiffany Stratton, I loved it. Kicking Tiffany's knee. I love how they sold that. Granted, I've said this before. I think the heel turn for Jade was a little late. I think it wasn't even that it was late. I just think the person shouldn't have been Tiffy time. Should have been Bianca. Ben said that. If it was Bianca, the impact would have felt more. But I like this. This right here. Jade coming out. When Jade comes out, she's like, hey, look. Because, honestly, when Tiffany is calling out Jade, Nick started getting security. And Jade was like, look, it's not even all that serious. It's not even all like that. I busted my head open a few weeks ago. trying to get this title. But now I know where I stand. And where I stand is to let y'all know that Taffy time is up.
Boy, she losing, I would be pissed. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna
Ah,
put it in there real quick. I'm sorry.
nah,
But
you
not
know,
losing it.
but you know what's funny? When the segment first started and it was just Tiffany calling her out, I said to myself, and I'm sitting there looking at the TV, and I said, why do I already hate this segment? That's the first thing I was saying. When Tiffany, I said, why do I immediately hate this segment? And the thing that really saved it was, and again, not glazing, not going crazy, but for Jade for Jade's part of her promo, I said, yeah, you saved it for me, Jade. Calling Tiffany Taffy time. Loki could have called her Tacky time. It didn't even matter.
Ooh,
But I
tacky
loved
time.
it. Tacky time, yeah. But I love this, man. I think this is good. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, man. At this point, where I feel like they're trying to go with it is I think they're trying to get the title on Jade as a heel. And it's probably we're gonna see maybe Bianca come back, and maybe they might push for Bianca versus Jade. And Naomi's still pregnant. So again, this might be a setup down the road for a Jade, Naomi, Bianca triple threat at WrestleMania. That's kind of where I see where this is going. Again, we know how they do. Triple H tells us they have a set what they want to do for WrestleMania by October. It is November 1st. So that being said, me telling y'all this, just remember this might be an actual fact that might happen. I'm telling you, Tacky Time would have been the one. I think Taffy Time went bad, but Tacky Time, that was the one. I mean, Taffy Time, I think of Laffy Taffy. So I'm like, all right, cool. But Tacky Time, yeah, that would have been better. But then we flash forward. Man, look, okay, let me just talk about this real quick. This whole open challenge with the United States Championship. I love, first of all, seeing Ilya Dragunov killing it.
Yeah, he got to stop having sex with that man in the ring.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. This is insane.
It,
him having that as his pin, I'm like, come on, bro. You can't just
This is diabolical.
do a regular pin. Like,
yes, I don't get it.
But I mean, the thing is, for me, even when it started with Nathan Frazier coming out with Axiom. I love, first of all, when Tommaso Ciampa came out and his Blackheart music immediately stopped it, tried to stop it, didn't work out. It was Nathan Frazier actually coming for that title. Honestly, I'm going to talk about this later, but the fact that, I love this open challenge, I love what Ilya's doing, but we're going to talk about something more about this. Then we flash forward to the backstage segment. The chaos between everybody is still continuing. Everybody's going crazy. Yeah. In the middle of of Ilya Dragunov trying to break everybody up. Tama Tonga, the man himself, literally, grabs the U.S. title, looking at it, past the Ilya Dragunov. And honestly, I hope he's the next man to get that actual U.S. title opportunity. We'll see what happens with that. Then we flash forward. Oh, Lord. What a mercy.
My God.
Yeah. We had Alexa Bliss going up against Nia Jax. Now, honestly, this was a pretty fast and fun match. I like what they did. The story wasn't too crazy there, but I love how, overall, they told a little story with it. Alexa Bliss getting the dub with Nia Jax. I like the interference with Charlotte. Not crazy interference, but like every time when Alexa Bliss got knocked out the ring, Charlotte caught her, put her back up. Even times when Nia Jax was up on top of the rope, Charlotte Flair coming up to distract her, Alexa Bliss getting the dub. And honestly, I think more and more I'm starting to like this tag team, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Then we flash forward. We flash forward to this, man. Look, I thought this was interesting. First of all, before this, Nick Aldis was talking to Tiffy Time, and Tiffany was like, I'm ready, I can do this. But then, of course, after that, Kiana James Julia pulled up on Tiffany's track and said, well, if you would have had us, you wouldn't have had to worry about Jay. But you know what? We're waiting for Taffy Time to be up. I said, man. And then Tiffany said, well, you know what? How about I just have some Tiffy Time to whoop your ass right now? I said, you know what? That's all right. Wasn't bad. I like that. But then it transcended to Chelsea Green with her Secret Harvest. And honestly, opening a challenge and initiating a challenge with Julia for that United States Championship. And honestly, man, I'm not mad about this. But I only wonder how far this is gonna go. Because we talked about this literally not too long ago about this mid card titles. Can we see something definite or actually solid with this? Maybe, but we'll see what happens with this, man. Then we flash forward. My man Mello, man, look, he's him. He's him. He's back. My man even had a promo last week backstage. Said he felt the support. He hears the support, and he's gonna go back to being him. I said, Mello, that's what the hell I'm talking about. But in the middle of him having this match with him and Kit Wilson, the Miz comes out, tries to distract, throws, Carmelo Hayes into the ring post, and that does nothing when you are him because Mello still getting the dub over Kit Wilson. And then right after that, the Miz literally hitting his finisher. And I ain't like this, man. Don't be pulling on my man's braids. It's different when you pulling on a man that has a pony. But come on, the braids is different, man. The braids is already tight. You pulling his hair, you about to pull the damn man's scalp off. And I was like, God damn, you can tell Mello was hurting when he pulled it. I said, Jesus. But again, I'm hoping this propels Mello because, again, we haven't had anything solid with Mello for a long time. This is something that he's finally getting, but I'm really hoping, come on, man, get him in a U.S. title opportunity against Ilya Dragunov. They've had history in NXT. Please, it writes itself. Then we flash forward. My goodness. So this match here, we had Tama Tonga and JC Mateo, please. Jeff Cobbs going up against the Motor City Machine Guns, and they honestly got the dub on it. This was a good match as well. Honestly, these men pulled out an absolute banger. Love what they did. But, of course, you know how it is with them NFTs, man. The NFTs beat the hell out of Shinsuke. They beat the hell out of Ray Phoenix, beat the hell out of the Motor City Machine Guns. And, honestly, I like how they all looked with this, man. This looks strong. This looks really good for Solo. This looks really good for Solo. But I still always wonder with Tama Tonga, like, what are you going to do when Jacob comes back? Like, what are you going to do? Because, bro, like, you was just with Jacob, and now you done switch sides. And they've never even talked about that yet. So we'll see what happens. Then we flash forward to the final part of the show, man. The contract signing. Love what they was doing with this. Drew McIntyre. Okay. Well, first of all, the funny thing is Cody. Cody was telling Drew, there's a difference between me and you. I left this company when things didn't get better. You got fired. I said, damn.
Disrespectful.
I was like, okay, disrespectful. He said, I came back as a whole new person. You came back as a whole new person, but the difference is I left on my own terms. You didn't. I said, damn, that's crazy. But Drew, being Drew McIntyre, man, he says, don't think you about to get the last word on me. Don't think for a second that this is what it's going to be. I love how he really kind of broke down the whole situation with Cody. Cody, I mean, he said, I can't wait to embarrass you in front of your family, especially in front of your two daughters. What are they? I said, Jesus Christ.
My man, Drew.
Diabolical.
Best heel in WWE right now.
Easily.
Best heel on the mic in WWE right now.
Easily.
Best. Then he asked, what's his name again? What's their names again? Cody got pissed off, tries to sit there and attack Drew. That don't do nothing. Because right in between that, man, Drew done dodged that. Niggas sitting there trying to talk to Cody like, what's going on? What are you doing? Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore on Cody, makes him look kind of like, I mean, it's just insane. But I mean, Cody being a good old face, gets out the way. Drew getting that Claymore right on Cody. You see Drew holding that title. Honestly, bro, I'm okay with this. Please, just it's like I know in my head Drew's not gonna win, but just the thought of a possibility. Drew literally taking Cody, putting him through the table, walking out. I mean, really just looking at everybody. And I love how this looked, man. Because at the end of the day, Drew is still the man that we say should be the champion. And this is the finish right here. Man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. A few things I got to talk about real quick. I know we're getting low on time. Uh, few things. First of all, I mean, I talked about the whole thing with Jade. Her heel turn. I feel like I'm okay with the heel turn. Funny thing, when they showed Jade, she had a whole Punisher outfit on. I said, okay, Punisher. I like this. Then when she comes out, I said, what the hell? Catwoman now?
Yeah, it was a different outfit. I noticed that too.
She a bad lady. She a bad lady.
Yeah. But I like the Taffy Time thing. I just think personally, I think if Jade would have turned on Bianca, I feel like the impact of that heel turn would have been so much more. Especially if they would have just lost the tag titles or something like that. Back then, I think they could have really did a lot more with it. But again, that just is what it is. Another thing I got to talk about for real. This United States Open Challenge thing. Look, I'm not going to lie. Don't drop the ball with this. And the reason why I say this, okay, how many times have we seen Nathan Frazier face for a title, let alone the United States Championship, let alone anything? We've seen Axiom. We've seen Nathan Frazier. Hell, we've seen Fraxium. I don't need to keep saying, I love Nathan Frazier. Don't get me wrong. But when you have an open challenge, I would have rather seen Tommaso Ciampa. I would have rather have seen the Blackheart. Hell, you know who I really would have loved to see pop out and make a debut? The Ruler. You could have had Obafemi come in, debut, get that title. Now you got something to go with because you know what it comes with Obafemi, the Ruler. That's all he do. Obafemi. As Heartbreak was like, fear me.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man.
Man.
I just feel like this is those open challenges, man. You got it. This is the time you got to start bringing. Yeah, you bring some people that you don't see get utilized. No water. Just me. It's like, I love the open challenge thing, but you got to take advantage of either using people that you don't see on TV like that. Nathan Frazier is somebody we see all the time. Or you bring new up-and-coming wrestlers. So it's like, next week, I better not see Axiom. I better not see a Ray Phoenix.
You
Ray
gonna
Phoenix
see
been
it.
active.
You gonna see it.
Oh, I know it.
You didn't know?
But we might get Tama Tonga next week. So I'm also okay with that.
Right.
But at the same time, I want to see somebody new. I want to see somebody fresh doing it. And again, like we said before, we haven't seen Obafemi since he's lost the NXT title. But if you bring Obafemi in and have it, and granted, I didn't want him to be that Ilya Dragunov because Ilya Dragunov been killing it. But even if you had Obafemi debut instead of Ilya come back and you had him win that U.S. title, imagine how that would have propelled him already. You like, damn, Oba's in here. But again, you know how it is with tripping them. They always tripping them. So I just, yeah. And again, Melo, I'm hoping we're going to see more with him. I'm hoping we're going to see more solid situations for him. So, man, we'll just hope for the best. And then, of course, Drew and Cody. Drew, you killed it as always, but I don't have any, confidence that Cody's dropping this title tonight. So we'll see what happens.
As you shouldn't. You should be no confidence whatsoever.
No confidence at all.
It would make me happy, but
Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think on this whole thing, man?
2 quick things. How I would like to see this in an ideal world, if I was in creative, is I would allow Ilya Dragunov, who I actually enjoy and love seeing wrestling, seeing wrestle, run with this title and build him up of this who can slay the dragon thing. Like, this man is undefeated. He hasn't lost. This that he just who can slay the dragon. And then that's when you have Oba Fear Me make his debut and beat Ilya Dragunov for the title. I would like to see something like that take place. But I know that sucks for your boy, him, as far as Ilya and Carmelo Hayes have a history, which is great. That's a great point that you brought up from NXT for those who watch and know about it. So it will be great to have them to, go at it for this U.S. championship. So that's the only thing about it, because I do want to see him have an opportunity to carry a U.S. title. It's kind of crazy that Ilya came back and automatically became champion. But
Funny how that happens.
lastly, only thing I got to say about the Drew and Cody thing is, Drew, I'm sorry, man, but I prayed, and I don't think it's gonna work.
Prayed. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to keep it short too, y'all. I know it's like I said, it's been 2 months, so I'm trying to get a lot in, or I'm trying to get in where I fit in. But all right, so
Yarami,
come on now. So a couple things, and so I'll start off with Dragunov. Me personally, I'm not a fan. Great wrestler, can't take that away from him, but it just doesn't do it for me. Not a fan of the finisher. You know, there's just something there for me, and I'm just like, he's a great wrestler. He puts on great matches. I love his work in the ring. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it's just something about him that I can't get behind. Now, do I think he'll be great for the U.S. title and what Heartbreak Prince just said? And maybe, you let him work this U.S. challenge, because he's the type of worker that could work the U.S. title for the next 5 to 6 to 7 months and open challenges and make that title relevant the way it should be. I could see that happening and help create different contenders and help build people. I could see that happening. I don't like the fact that he came right back, won this title, especially when there's people like Carmelo or there's some other guys that that maybe could take that time. Heck, Solo should have never lost the title. That's just my opinion. I thought they had something good with Solo being U.S. champion, and they let that go to the wayside. So I don't know. It's just something I can't call it. I don't know what it is. Some people grow on me late, and y'all know how I am. Javon was the same way. Javon had to grow on me, but we're right there now. We're like cousins now. But Dragon, I just in the ring, great. I just don't know what it is. Now swinging over to Tiffy time, and Jade. The heel turn, yes, probably a little late, but I have a bad feeling that Tiffany time, Tiffy time or Tabby time or Tacky time, whatever way you want to call it. I hate to say it, but I think she wins the night, because Triple H's goal is to make Tiffany as strong as possible. In his eyes, Tiffany is the future. In his eyes, Tiffany is the next Charlotte. You know how they are about women that have blonde hair. They fall in love with them, and it just goes on from there. I just look. She's not a bad wrestler, and still I think they underutilizing her because she should be heel. She was a way better heel than when she was a face, but they want to make her the face of the company. It's obvious, and so I think they're going to unfortunately use Jade as a stepping stone in this situation, and I hate that. Now, y'all made a good point. Like it would have been great to see her turn heel, take the title, and maybe see Bianca in a couple months, but I would even say I would love to see something at some point where it's her, Jade and Naomi back together, but as heels, just nasty, mean heels, and just like destroy the women's division. Because you know what? They have the power, they have the talent, they got people that can talk on the mic. There's so much they could do with it, just so much they could do with it. But we shall see. Then, Drew, and just to finish up with this, Drew McIntyre needs to be world champion. I mean, you're heading into WrestleMania season. This is pretty much officially the road at this point. The baby road to WrestleMania, the setup to the Rumble, and so on and so on. Why wouldn't you want Drew to be your champion the next couple of months and just antagonize whoever that you want to be the next world champion? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's for a short range, it could be an LA night. Just somebody that could come in and just, they'll take it from Cody. Let Cody go spend time with his girls. The baby just came. Let him go spend some time with the wife and the kids and have that time. But let Drew run supreme. Let Drew, the master of the Claymore. I want to see him kick Jelly Roll again. I need to see whatever it takes. I just want to see him Claymore people into submission. That's all I'm asking for. I've always been a big Drew fan since Broken Dreams and so on and so on, man. I want all of that, and for all those 2K guys out there, they just brought Broken Dreams back on the game. I don't play, wrestling games like I used to, but it almost made me say, I might have to go pick that bad boy up.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. They had it for free on PlayStation Plus. I got it.
Time to say goodbye. What is yours?
Now is mine. Great theme, man. That was a great entrance, man.
I get hype every time I hear it, man. Nothing start off like doom doom, like ooh, who coming out now? And then Drew come out in this magic, man.
It's just
like
magic, man.
He's
really
been one of my guys for a long time. The last thing I'll say, like when Orton came out, Orton gave me that, like, Orton had this arrogance. I used to call it the arrogance of Orton. He'd come to the ring, he'd hit it out when he was young Orton, and he's obviously still Orton. He does all of that stuff. But the longevity of Orton, like Drew McIntyre has that same, he could be this generation's Orton. You know what I'm saying? Like he could be a face, but he's a better heel. Like, I feel like he's this generation's Orton where he could take it and just run with it. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Drew should be like a 5 or 6, 7-time champion at this point. Orton's got 14. Drew only has what? 1.5 or 2.5? It's 2.5, I think.
2, I think.
It's
I forgot technically 2.
It's technically,
but the second one was only for about 5 minutes.
It was like 50. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I just don't get it, y'all. And it's time. Like, send Cody home to his wife and children. Bye. Send him home.
Send him home.
Oh
man.
We've all prayed.
We've all prayed.
That gate too strong right now with Cody.
Yeah, the gate way too strong.
The gates are strong.
But just imagine how stronger it could be if you have Cody fight back to get his championship at WrestleMania. But that's
Chase is always better.
It's always better.
Chase is always better. I hate him as champion.
Well, I take that back. Unless you're the tribal chief, then the reign is better.
Yeah.
Hey,
heel champions. Heel champions are just what it's supposed to be. Heel champions make better champions, and we may have the possibility of 2 faces being champion here in the next couple of months if CM Punk wins the night, and of course Cody. We got 2 faces leading the pack. You got to have heels make championships worth everything. So
yeah,
give him the title.
Just do it. Just do it like Nike. I've been saying that.
Yeah.
Hey, before we end, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sean who banged with us for the last hour 40 minutes.
Sean, thank you, Sean. We up here just yapping, Sean. We were
yapping. Sean was dropping comments left and right. We appreciate it.
See, Sean sees the vision. He'll Bianca. Let him go, baby. This the real team bad. Just bad black women. Just sorry, racist, but brown and black women or brown and black people just make great heels, and that's just what it is. I'm sorry.
It's the culture.
It's the culture.
It's
easy to hate us, baby. It's easy to hate us.
You see what happened when R-Truth went from face to heel, and how much better that was. Come on, bro. Yeah. It's just the swag of it, man. It's just the natural attitude of the aura.
Because you're used to being hated. You're used to being hated.
So it's easy for us to just spit it out.
I'm like,
yeah. Michael Jordan. Like, I'm just.
Oh man. But as always, make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all already know what this is. Come on, I ain't gotta tell you too much. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. We always appreciate the love and support y'all been giving us. We're getting close to 200 subscribers, man. Y'all keep liking it up, sharing it up, comment, tell your friends, tell people. If you know anybody who's a wrestling fan, man, let them know about what we're doing and what we're talking about on here, man. We're telling y'all some really good stuff. And of course, on TikTok, we're getting close to those 500 followers. So make sure y'all keep following us on there. We're always dropping some short form content. You always will see me on there, jumping on the Heels for Life podcast, on my man Chris, on his TikTok panel as well. I'm always on there. So y'all make sure y'all keep following us, keep liking it up, because we're going to keep giving you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man. Y'all already know what it is, man.
Hey, and shout out to Panda, who also gave us some serious love as well on TikTok. We appreciate that, Panda.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate all that love y'all been giving us, man. Especially you, Candid. But as always, y'all, we talked about some of the, questionable things that happened on Monday Night Raw. We talked about some of the great things we've seen on NXT. Of course, my girl Lonnie and Tricky and Ricky. And we talked about some of the things that happened on SmackDown. Of course, with Taffy Time and Jade, and thank goodness with good old Drew McIntyre. But
Taffy
as always,
Time.
Taffy Time, boy.
Drew.
Babe. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We had the legacy maker himself, Mr. Exclusive, and we also had the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the Exclusive Knights, so we always ensure that we are the best there is, the best there was, and the best that ever will be. And to ensure that your nights, that's right, boy, and to ensure that your nights will never be the same.
That's trick. That's trick. Come on now, y'all know. Come on.
Come on.
Let's
Trick
get it.